Work has begun on creating the new molds, which should be completed by the end of September. This means mass production will take place across October through December. Pledges should then be on the boats in January for delivery in March 2025. Here we go again. What's up, everyone? I'm Lieutenant Nathaniel Flint of the Landship Scorpios. And we have update 45 today. This should be a really short video. There isn't much to talk about, and except for how we're going to be handling Rivet Wars updates going forward. So today we got this. I had it first thing when I woke up. Welcome back, Commander. First off, we're sorry this update has been longer than usual to get to you. Usual in quotes. We are going to cover that later. You know what you did. Include some important information, and we've been working with the manufacturer on getting details together. Not a good start. So that goes on to talk about the old timelines we had with creating miniature molds. And they've been checking everything. They've been going through it. We have here the good news is the print materials are all approved and ready for mass production. And so are many of the miniatures. I feel like this is not right based on what is about to come next. However, some of the minis have experienced an issue with something known as splay marks. So we're about to get into it. Jamie's about to tell us about splay marks in miniatures printing for mass production. We do have some pictures, so I am going to scroll them because they're the only positive part of this video, and we will not be doing a video going over them, trying to find little things. We can see that they seem to be split based on what they are. So we have, like, this is approved core. So this is the core box stuff. And then we can see that this is probably like the reinforcements. We can see like the Nemoan box is probably this out here. Aerial stuff approved. And we can see this big area saying no good. And they have all this area of no good. And we can see, ooh, that doesn't look purple. The very pink Gunnar Hammerson. What a cool video to go through that. But we didn't get this in time. Instead, we're going to go down here. So what are splay marks? Jamie will walk us through it. These are fairly common in PVC miniatures and usually take the form of very faint marbling, which is almost impossible to detect with the naked eye. In more extreme cases, though, not only is marbling effect noticeable, but cracks can also appear on the surface of the miniatures. Unfortunately, this has happened with some of the Rivet Wars miniatures. Here are some examples. So we can see here, hopefully you can see that. We'll do a zoom. We won't do it in editing. Yeah, that's good. We can see that. So we can see here, there's cracks all over the helmet. You can see it looks like scars on the face. Honestly, it has kind of a cool effect if it was intended. But I would look at these cracks and things and really worry about how long the miniature would last. Oh yeah, like this. We can see that it's all cracked up here. Yeah, that's definitely worrisome, not good. The helmet looks good. Again, it kind of got the scarring effect on the faces. We have all these cracks here. But knowing that it's not intentional does worry me. More cracks on the helmet. We can see it across the eyes. I'm not really seeing them here. This is just a kind of a cool behind the scenes of some Nemoan troops. I feel like this is a little blurry to see any of the cracking. But, I mean, we've seen it on the other ones. So it's affecting a lot of troops. Yeah, you can see it here on the guard dog. Poor Decar is all cracked up. It doesn't really look good. It's worrying. And so they go on to say that splay marks are usually caused by some combination of the temperature of the plastic, the cooling period, the speed at which the plastic is injected into the mold, exposure of the plastic to moisture, or how the miniatures release from the mold. Based on some of the comments, this seems to be a serious problem in how this entire type of manufacturing works and how they do things. It is a cheapness issue from what some of the people say. Jamie goes on to say, we've worked with the manufacturer over the last couple of months to amend all of the above elements that wouldn't require the creation of new molds. This has fixed the splay marks for some minis. Some are still having issues. It means that for these miniatures that are still affected, we've had to begin the process of creating new molds, including hollowing the sculpts in some areas to help the cooling process. This hollowing won't be detectable when viewing or using the miniature. It's purely to prevent splay marks from forming. The unfortunate impact of this is that it will delay the start of mass production until these new molds are complete. We're sorry this has happened, especially after there's already been a delay, to put it lightly. It's rare for one of our campaigns to suffer additional delays once production has started, but this has been a unique and unforeseen production issue we've encountered. Based on some of your other Kickstarters, no, it's not unique. What can I say? We'll be doing more research into that. As I read at the beginning of the video, work has begun on creating new molds, which will be completed by the end of September. This means mass production will take place across October through December. Pledges should then be on boats in January, delivery for March 2025. Just as we've done up to now point, we'll continue to keep you updated with production progress as we go. There will be a bit of a lull over the next few months while the new molds are completed and mass production starts. But we do have some final samples of miniatures that didn't have the splay issue that we can share with you during this time. And that's it. That is update 45. So I'm not going to add to the discourse on this. I think I agree with a lot of other comments. This will lead to a mass request of refunds. This is yet another delay. This isn't like their second delay. This is more of the same delays. My things that I would pose to Steamforged Games if they're watching my content at all is a few questions. One, if the projections we're getting are the barest minimum, brightest day, sunny way timelines, that they're like, please, God, let it be out in March. Or if they're truly leaving wiggle room for these kind of bullshit. Because it's one of those things where this would have really affected people's choices, maybe, but it would have been a different issue if at the end of 2022, when they said, hey, there's major delays, there's major this, there's major that. It could be until the end of 2024 before this is given. And now we get to this point and they're like, hey, this happened. It's unforeseen. We're sorry. We have to delay until early 2025. That is a different story than all of the little kicking the can down the road. And then when we get there, being like, here's another kick coming. We can see it at this point. And a lot of fans, a lot of backers are upset. And it's really hard seeing other Kickstarters fulfilled, other Kickstarters reach their deadlines, other Kickstarters be announced and start processing when this one is getting kicked so hard so often. That is very hard and it's challenging. And I don't blame people for being upset and voicing that upset. And I don't feel that the strategy of we're just not going to address it is helpful. I don't think you're making people calmer by going dark and going, well, we can't give anyone. I 100% believe this update is late because this is super bad news that they probably knew about a while ago. And they went, we cannot say it now because it's going to be bad when we say it. That's what I believe. I believe they knew about it. I believe they wanted to have answers and examples to give when they told us, which isn't a negative per se, but I do believe that, something as simple as being like, hey, we're going to have another update first thing in September, in August. We've got, here's your cross-faction cards. And then we've got an update in August. So I guess what I would tell Steamforged Games, Jamie, is updates are free and they have a lot of potential content and behind the scenes stuff in the back. It would be very easy to release things we haven't seen before. It'd be very easy to give updates on, hey, based on your feedback to the work in progress PDFs, here's an update. You could release several a month, but when you have so desperately clung to once a month, even not once per 30 days, and you've very maliciously used that it's not exactly once per 30 days. For instance, I have no doubt you will call this update your August update and be like, well, we don't have to give one in August, thank God. I guess we'll give one September 30th. And I fully believe that's how that's going to happen. So that's kind of malicious. And I believe that it would have been so easy to just be like, we're working on some stuff. We're still reviewing. We have some concerns and some models. Here's some new high-res image of some models. And here's what we intend with a render of that model. Do you see the difference? This is what we're looking for. Like, there's a lot of different ways to do this. You could do interviews with some of the artists or sculptors. There's ways to go about and pad some of the updates and to give more updates. And I think we would have had a lot less emotions around these updates. I mean, you could take the lawyer approach and go, legally, we don't have to give anything. It is Kickstarter. And you can take the lawyer approach of going, we're doing our best to get monthly updates out. You're getting at least once a month, right? Which, again, we'll go into another video. So now, to keep this video as short as possible, because there isn't a lot of good news, how are we going to be handling Rivet Wars Reloaded stuff on this channel going forward? We are not going to cover any more bad news. None. If an update is only bad news, like this, it's straight up not being covered. I will moan about it where Rivet Wars is, which links down below, but I will not actively cover it on the channel going forward. I'm not paid. This isn't being paid off. I'm not getting anything special from anyone else. Straight up, I don't have the audience to be treated nicely or I'm being treated respectfully and nicely. Let's not misrepresent Steamforged Games. But I'm not getting anything special. I'm just one of you. I'm just doing dumb blogs, basically, and covering their updates. So I'm not doing anything special, but I'm making the choice to not add fuel to the fire for more negative updates. If something like this is posted, I'm just straight up not going to cover it going forward. When fulfillment happens, I will be doing 2 videos of note. I will be doing a review of the games in each of the things and doing a big old review. I will be doing a review of the Kickstarter, how I feel it went. But as a part of that is I will be doing basically a how cool is it that this gets reloaded and all my wishes going forward. And how I hope that this has been a learning process for Jamie and the team on how to handle a project like this, especially Rivet Wars, going forward, so that next Kickstarter we can have exponentially better experience from our side as backers and fans, and on their side as a production team, so that basically we can just have hype and good stuff and then a product and they can get only praise. That would be great. But as a part of this, there will be a video that is just all the negative we've gone through. I have a lot of opinions, and there's a lot of criticism, and hopefully it'll be constructive. There's a lot of criticism going forward. And I'm going to save all that for one big video, and it's going to be my proof that I wasn't bought off. And it's going to basically call you out. And from here on out, all the negative is going to go into that. It'll be like a little event video for us. It'll be a treat at the end of a long process. I really hope it will not overshadow the fulfillment and the excitement and the praise and the good that will come from everything else. And then, of course, we can just go and do Rivet Wars content once it's in my hands. But for now, there'll be no more negative, no more covering negative things. That might mean no more content for Rivet Wars until there's good stuff to content about. I love stuff like going over these behind the scene photos. They're not fun and super entertaining videos, but they are what I like doing. And I like doing it with friends and things, and just like gushing and like eating up every little bit of Rivet Wars and excitement and hype that I can. But it is very hard to keep up that energy and that positivity when it can sometimes feel like there's nothing but bad news. So hearing that we are once again waiting on molds, again, this Kickstarter was 2 weeks in September of 2022. It's very hard to be the only person stoking the hype train. It's very, very hard. So, going forward, what is going to happen is no more negative. If there are some behind the scene photos, I might not do them when they are released. I might wait to have a bunch to do one video, and we'll just do that. If it's being released in March, we might not do anything. I've talked before about I have a Rivet Wars, the old classic Rivet Wars dice tower. My life has gone crazy, so I haven't done that one yet. We've talked about maybe I'll review one of the work in progress PDFs doing like another scenario, like we did that one scenario video that didn't do well at all. And then, of course, we might do something where if they release something else big and meaty and behind the scenes worth talking about. If Steamforged Games is watching this at all, I would, of course, love to do another interview with anybody. I will talk to the person who did the art. I'll talk to sculptors about any process. I'll talk about what's the design thinking around box design, and how did you update designs? How did you update box design? What are you thinking about with shipping? Like, I'm willing to do anything and twist it as positive. But I think going forward, like if we get another one of these, I don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's helpful for the channel, especially since it has leaned so far Rivet Wars centric to the point where I've kind of lost the thread of what this channel is supposed to be. To just have so many negatives. And I definitely won't be doing, I haven't heard in a while, so let's do a video hoping, but like prodding them. Nope, no more of those. So we'll do good news only. We'll do big news or big reveals. They'll probably be short videos, or I might put them off and do a video down the line so I can do a bunch of them at once. But no more negative. When fulfillment comes, there'll be plenty of good, plenty of gushing, plenty of Kickstarter reviews, hopefully an unboxing. I plan to take time off work to literally sit on my porch so that the Postal Service does not show up with only a slip and say, oh, we didn't even bother knocking your door when we put up the slip that said we missed you. And now you have to wait 3 days to get your package. Like, no, I'm going to be taking time off work and ensuring that there is no excuse that I get this on the day I'm supposed to get this. So there's plans, there's positivity, and there's excitement in the future. But to say that I'm not heartbroken, that these cracks are not through my very spirit right now, would be a lie. So thank you guys for watching. This is definitely some kind of rant video. I'm really hoping I can cut it down and short. These aren't fun to watch. There's no way these are fun to watch. So I guess Rivet Wars discussions in the comments down below. Not that anyone ever comments down below. But in the description of the video is the links to where Rivet Wars is. Official and non-official. Discords, Facebook groups, etc. Let me know how to spread positivity and keep the hype train stoked. Going forward, I've got some generic steampunk videos I'm going to do. And I've got some other ideas. And I will not be doing my video on Steamforged Games' new Strange Light project, because I think I just can't cover stuff like that right now. So thanks so much for watching. Video interactions helps a ton. So things like liking the video, sharing it, or commenting down below helps us find our audience of Rivet Wars steampunk lovers kind of stuff. Please subscribe to the channel if you want more steampunk content. I will definitely be leaning more towards the steampunk content, trying to get something else up that isn't negative. But of course, anything Rivet Wars, I will do my best to cover here. And with that, I guess that's it. So, more bad news, guys. I hope you're staying safe out there. I hope you'll have a good holiday season going into the new year. And I guess I'll see you guys whenever the next one happens.